Say if you downloaded the free version of Resolve and you're playing around with it, having fun, I'm about to show you things that are the main reason that one of your friends that switched from Premiere Pro or Final Cut 10 or something else to DaVinci Resolve, this is the reason why they did that. I'm about to reveal things that will unlock easy mode inside DaVinci Resolve. And as always, there's going to be a guide that you can download to basically see the difference between what you get with the free version versus what you get with the studio version. I'm not trying to sell you the studio version, but these features that I'm showing you are specific to the studio version. And once you see what this is, it will absolutely blow your mind. And if you've been following me and grading in Resolve, then you probably have seen all the things that I'm about to show you. So I just want to be respectful of your time. If you want to stick around, amazing. I'll take the view. Otherwise, you guys do your thing. And for the rest of us, let's jump right in. For those that don't know me, my name is Qazi. I've worked with brands like Adidas, Amazon Prime, Universal Studios, and I make no bullshit straightforward color grading tutorials so you can work with your dream clients. If you guys are new to Resolve and missed the last video, you don't want to do that. Watch that first before you get going with this one. I showed you how to set up your project the right way and how to get the most out of Resolve when you're first starting out. So do not skip that video. All right, so let's start with this shot right here. That is super, super challenging because if I zoom in right here, look at this. It's dark and there is a lot of noise, okay? Just look at this. There's a lot of noise. And before is even crazy. And then this is our X709 conversion, and this is where we are. We just basically balance the shot a little bit, and this is where we're at. So usually, what are you going to do? If you want to clean up this image, you're going to go to a node before your correction. Think of it almost as if you shot it under proper lighting and you didn't have noise entering your sensor. So that's the mindset. You want to basically clean up the image before you manipulate it in post. So that's why this goes right after our IDT, input device transform. Again, if you don't have any idea what the hell these things are, I explained it to you in the last video, part 2 of this series. Since a tool like Premiere Pro is meant for editing and not color grading, their entire color grading is set up as like a plugin, not necessarily a finishing tool, which is what Resolve actually is. So we have a dedicated module right here. If I click right here, motion effects, we have this entire tab for noise reduction. Now, the old school way of doing this, selecting this on your screen, then taking your Luma and Chroma and cranking it to something like this and see the image is getting a little bit cleaner. Then you would come right here, you'll change this to enhanced, and then you're going to take your spatial threshold and you're going to crank it a little bit, something like this, and then pull it back a little bit, not too crazy, and then you will hope for the best. And it would be different from footage to footage. Now imagine if you have multiple shots and if you're treating each one separately, like this could become a freaking mess. Normally, I don't suggest you do that. Like you can just apply a good base to an entire scene and you should be good. But even then, it's just a pain in the ass because you have no idea how to set that up, especially if you're just starting out. Like, what are we talking about? It's crazy. So now it's as simple as this. Thanks to AI, you can go under the spatial NR, click on mode, select Ultra NR, AI Ultra NR, which is kind of crazy that they buried it so deep into a random mode instead of just like having it out there, which, I mean, there's space right here. Just put like a dedicated AI module right here, but whatever. So you go select that, nothing really happens. If I come here, nothing is really happening. You have to then click on analyze. And as soon as you do, 3, 2, 1, boom, done, cleaned up. Look at this right here and look at before how much noise is on the floor, like right here. And then after how much the image got cleaned up. Now, some people might say like, this is too much. There's a couple of different ways to do it. Like the wrong way to fix this is for you to just go under blend and do one of these and kind of split the difference. I'm saying it's the wrong way to do it because let me show you the right way to do it. So leave this at full, okay? Don't mess with that. The right way to do it is go in this node right before your ODT, output device transform, and then we can just type in film look creator, drop that on. As soon as you drop it on, it will do all this, like it'll apply a full effect. We don't want that. So go under presets and just do clean slate. So then nothing is applied if I do before and after. I go all the way down to grain. 3, 2, 1, turn it on. Done. So now if I take these two and do before and after, you see how big of a difference we're making? So this is before our actual RGB noise. This is after our monochromatic noise. How can I prove that to you? I mean, just look at our vector scope and our waveform. So let's do before. Look at how noisy everything is and like how much color is in the noise. And then after, look at that, how clean it got. And you can see it right here. Before, how much chatter we're seeing, like the red channel in here. And then after, see, it just cleans up. It's just monochromatic grain. So now this is like film grain. This actually looks super, super clean. So this is the first cheat code that I wanted to share with you. Let's move right along. This one right here, you guys are gonna absolutely love it. It will blow your mind, okay? So we got this shot right here, okay? And the director goes, bro, I want to change the color of this sign and I want to match it to like her clothes, like this blue, because this is just too shocking. So let's do that. How do you do it? Okay, so normally what you would do is something like this in a different tool. You would draw it out. You'll go right here. You'll do something like this, something like this. Actually, not super difficult to do because it's a rectangle. So I do this and then I go, what color do you want, bro? You want this to be blue? Okay, good. So let's click right here. Actually, you know what? I mean, we can do that, but this is going to give us a horrible result. So we just switch the entire thing and we go, what about something like this? You like that? Close to this? Oh, this is great, right? Like maybe pull the saturation down. This is amazing. Okay, great. Let's track it. So we're going to go and hit this button right here under tracking and we'll track it. Whoa, what just happened? You see what just happened here? Because this goes out of frame. So what is happening here? Oh my God. Now somebody's going to say, well, there's ways to like fix that. No, dude, nobody's dealing with that. This is 2026. We don't do that. We don't do like that pedestrian stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this, get rid of it. I don't want that window. Get rid of that. Actually, don't want any of this. Get rid of it. Okay. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go right here, another studio specific tool, Magic Mask version 2. And all I'm going to do is just click right here. As soon as I click on it, nothing happens until I click this button right here. It's telling us it picked out this area right here. I'm going to go and just select better. Okay. It's going to do a better job when I do that. And that's it. I don't need to worry about anything else. All I'm going to do is just come out of it and I'm going to track it. And now watch. It takes a little bit of time, so you got to work with it. But once this is done, this is a brand new feature and that is mind-blowing then how robust it is. So this is done, right? All powered by AI. So that's the beauty of it. Now that we're done, we come right here and we click on these 3 dots and we say render magic mask in place. Look at this. Now it just created a matte. This is super important. Otherwise, every time you make a change here, you have to re-render this. So it's very cumbersome. Now that we've done that, created this right here, we go and we change it to that blue and we bring the saturation down to something like this. And we go, why don't we try it again and just give it a go? And now we give it a go and just look at this. Look at this. Reflections and everything. Look at this. Look at that. Before and after. And now none of that garbage. Done. I mean, this is what I'm saying. I mean, you all like hate on AI so hard. Everybody's just like, oh, AI is here to like take my job, blah, blah, blah. No, bro, stay ahead of it. Use it, get ahead of it. And then it doesn't use you, you use it. That's where we want to get to. Okay. Now, the thing is, no matter what you do, all these things that you're seeing, yes, we're unlocking easy mode, but what about actually creating a look? Like, that is the hardest part of color grading. I mean, color correction, you can get good at. Like, a lot of people can just do the mundane stuff, but developing a taste, knowing what's good, what's bad, how do you get granular with it? That is rocket science. And that's a rabbit hole where you can spend literally 7 hours on one shot. So to help you with that, I've created a tool called RapidGrade. And let me just quickly demo this for you. I'm going to do this live, okay? Just like give me literally 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Let me just show you this. So let's just say we want to create like a blockbuster teal and orange style look on this. Let me just build it from scratch and show you how easy it is. Under film look, we can just go and select our curve. And under our curve, we have all these film print and film negatives. Okay, so let's just say we start with a 5219 2383 Wolf of Wall Street type thing. Before and after, like look at how good it's looking and how healthy this is looking. Then we go under split tone and we just turn it on. Look at how it's a single click operation, and then we can modify it as much as we want. But like, look at this. So far, 2 clicks and we're right here. Are you kidding me? We go under dynamic range because this area is getting too dark. We turn this on. Look at the magic of this. It's going to blow your mind. Look at this. And nothing is gunky. Like, we're actually bringing detail back there. We're actually bringing this detail. Like, look at this. Before, I don't see anything. And now we're actually bringing detail. So I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. What about highlights? Can we pull this down? Look at this. No halo, nothing. Look at that. How I just bought a couple of stops. How I just opened up my image and genuinely bought a couple of stops. Just like that, okay? Global adjustment. Everything here is done in linear gamma transfer function. So we can just go and warm it up a little bit. And it's going to be very much like if you've made this change in camera. We can just genuinely go under our skin tones and make it pop. Pop skin tones like that and brighten it up a little bit if we want to. And then we can just turn on film traits. Gives it that look. But the best of all, under diffusion, we can just select Black Pro Mist filter and just look at the effect. We created that from scratch. We actually bought filters, shot with it, brought it in, and then emulated that effect. And this is why this is the truest rendition that you will get from a diffusion filter. And that's what you have. You can turn it into a LUT, ingest it in your camera, and bring it in. Drop this on and you're good to go. So if you want to give it a try, our YouTube fam gets a lot of love for the first 72 hours. Link is going to be in the description. Check it out. All right, so now we're on this shot and I want to show you something that I am absolutely in love with. Okay, so this is a beautiful shot, right? We just did a little bit of balancing and it's great, but I want to put my focus on my people, not in the background. Okay, so before, what you would do is you would have to draw a shape on them first, and then draw a shape in the back, and then subtract them out of the background, and then you have to track everything. You get where I'm going with this? It's impossible. It's impossible. It just cannot be done. You can do it, but you'll be spending like 4 hours getting just one shot done. Well, now you just go and type in depth map, drop this on, and it does this, invert it, pop this open, and we'll just take our near limit and we're going to start going back to something like this. Always give a little bit of slack. That's okay. Because if you just go too tight, your results are going to be horrible. So always give just a little bit of slack. And then we can just go under map finesse and just watch what happens to them. 3, 2, 1. See how clean this is? And then what we can do is we can blur it out, but we need to see what's happening first before we start making changes to blur or we start making changes to near limit. All I want to do is just take my gamma and I want to pull it down. And the beauty is like blending it in. Don't overdo it. Like this just blends in very, very realistically. So even if we do this and drop it by a stop, that's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. We just wanted to put focus on them. And that's it. Now, here's our shot, and I'm going to be using a brand new effect. So this is already beautiful. This is great. But let's just say if the director is just like, hey, man, can we do something dramatic, like almost as if this was shot on an anamorphic lens? Before I would just be like, dude, I don't know what you want me to do. Now I can just go here and type in Cine Focus. Guys, so far, I mean, you're seeing, right? Like these effects are so high level. Each effect could be sold as like a $2,000 plugin on its own. I'm not joking. This is unreal. So look at this. I just dropped this on and like, look at the effect that we're getting already. Okay. So it's messing up her hair and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't want that. So we're going to change the quality to enhance. So that is way better. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go under focus. We're going to see what it's actually grabbing. So we got to extend our depth of field so it's more realistic. We got to take our focus and just make sure that it does cover her hair, all of it. Something like that. Let's come out of it. And now I want to go under aperture. And I want to go here and I want to turn on anamorphic lens. And look at this in the back. This is before and then this is after. You see what I mean? How it's stretching it out. Oh my God. Look at how beautiful this is. What else we can do is go under aperture size and actually mess with it. So this is how it's going to be like, how much bokeh do we actually want? So like if I go here, this is like really, really pushed. And then obviously this is for the example sake, right? So like we can really see it. But and you can pull this off, and it's for a simple reason. Like the background is so far in the back that sure, if you're shooting with 1.4 anamorphic lens, it will look like this, right? It will look like this because right now it feels like it's shot on like, I don't know, 5.6. There's depth of field is very conservative, and we just created like a very crazy pushed depth of field. If I play it back, obviously it's gonna play it really slow, maybe like 2-3 frames a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play it like this so you guys can see what's happening. So that's the one thing about this tool. Like it is very, very like resource hungry. And you're seeing this, right? I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, obviously I see like the hair thing, right? Like it's just eating into that. And that's where we just want to be careful of like how much we do this, right? So now that I've kind of pulled it back, it's a little bit better. So we have to find our own limitation there. And then we go back to this, and then we just take the depth of field, and then we take the focus, and we just keep, like I said, we just keep going there to cover it as much as possible. And this is okay. Because if you're starting with this effect and that's what it looks like, nobody is going to tell you, oh, dude, I spot this like weird thing. Nobody's going to do that. Like people are just going to be looking at the footage. So that's why you have to mess with it enough to understand what is happening. So you can just like dial in these settings really fast. But even like just having this effect, like this is before and then this is after, it's a very different character all of a sudden that we created. So this is the last one on our list. I was trying to keep it very simple because if you guys are just starting out in Resolve, I don't want to overwhelm you. I don't want to go more in depth into each one. Like each one could be its own video, which obviously if any of you are interested, you know, comment below and we'll make that happen. But this gives you an idea of when Resolve charges you for something, it's worth its weight in gold. I mean, this is mind-bending, the stuff that you can do in here by paying such a small amount, under $300, and you get this tool, perpetual license, free updates, and then this is the kind of stuff that they have in here. And you're seeing this, right? Like all of this is applicable. People have asked me to help out with these things. And in the past, I just said, I can't touch this. This is going to be a visual effects thing. And now it's just this simple. It's so simple that you guys are starting out just now in DaVinci Resolve. And I'm showing you how to do this. And I'm encouraging you to give it a shot. It's that simple now. And this is why people are moving to Resolve from any and everything that they were using in the past. And I'm happy to have you guys here. I'm going to be putting out fire left and right. If you guys have any specific content suggestion, drop them in the comment section below. Do not forget to check out RapidGrade. Link is in the description. And like I said, there's a pretty heavy love going your guys' way for the next 72 hours. So check it out. That said, guys, I will see you in the next one. Much love. Peace, fam.